So before we actually solve the problem, I'm going to start by doing an estimation. So our equation, 342 divided by 4, I'm going to estimate by rounding this number up. I'm just going to round it up to 400. I'm going to divide that number by 4 because I know that 400 is divisible by 4. So my estimation is going to be 100. Alright, so I'll be starting by demonstrating how to solve this equation, 342 divided by 4, using concrete materials, these base 10 blocks. So to do that, I'm going to start dividing these into 4 equal groups. So these are my labels for my groups, so I have 4 of them. And to start, I'm going to need to trade my 100 pieces in for 10 pieces because I can't divide these into 4 groups equally. So I'll start off by switching these over. Okay, so now that I've traded my 100 pieces into 30 individual 10 pieces, I can start. I can start by putting 10 pieces into my groups. So that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 300, 310, 320. So that leaves me with 22 left over. So now I'm going to need to trade these two 10 pieces for individual unit pieces. So I'll trade these. One, two, three, four, 5. So now I will divide these into my 4 groups equally again. Okay, so now I have 5 individual pieces in each group, and I have 10 pieces in each group. So 80 plus 5 in each group, that's 85, and I have a remainder of 2. So my answer is 85, remainder of 2. Alright, so now I'll be representing the same equation and solving it pictorially using still the array model. So first I'll start off by labeling my groups. And now I can start I'll just start by putting 10s into each group. So I'll represent those with rods. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 80, 290, 300, 310, 320. So to keep track on the side, I'll put 342, and I'll subtract the 320 that I just divided into these groups. So I can see now that I have 22 left over that I have not yet put into my groups. So I'll need to put these into my groups. I'll need to share them equally, and I can do that using single units. So I'll just represent those with little circles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 17, 18, 19, 20. So now if I just keep track on the side here again, I have 2 left over, and those I can't divide those into 4 groups equally, so that will just be my remainder. So I have a remainder of 2, and then each group has 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85. So my quotient is 85, and I have a remainder of 2. Okay, so now I'll be showing you a personal strategy. So this one is about splitting the dividend up into more divisible pieces. So I'll reformat the question here. So I'll put my divisor goes here, and I'll be splitting up my dividend under here and putting my quotient on top. So I know that 320 is divisible by 4 and that the quotient is 80, so I can record that. And I'll put my quotient on top. And then I have 22 left that I need to account for. So I'll split those into 20 and 2 because I know that 20 is divisible by 4 and the quotient is 5. So I'll put 5 up top. And then I have a leftover of 2, a remainder of 2. And if I add my two quotients up here, I'll get 85. And I'll record my remainder. So 85 is the quotient for my original question of 342 divided by 4.